I'm autistic, and this is a case of autism. And today, we're going into uncharted territory because we're going to be talking about things in a different way and analyzing things under a different context. And that's because today, we're talking about Cyrus from Pokémon! Yay! So, if you didn't know, there was a massive Giga leak that has been going on about, like, Pokémon throughout, like, most of their games, and mostly Game Freak stuff in general. Among these leaks are internal documents describing certain aspects of characters that were otherwise not completely confirmed. For example, yes, there's a Latina in the game. Just, it does not matter, but it's cool, I get. You know what? No, that does matter. Nice for some representation. Way to go, Latinas. Proud of you. No, but for real, the thing that concerns us today is Cyrus, because it was determined that Cyrus is autistic. Is what I would say if that was true, because it turns out that was a mistranslation. Let me explain. Hey, real quick, just wanted to let you all know that I now have a blue sky. I've completely abandoned Twitter and will no longer be featuring it in the description of any future videos, and I've pretty much also abandoned Instagram as well. So if you ever want to get in contact with me directly or interact with me on a platform that isn't YouTube, blue sky is the way to go. That's all I have to say. Thank you. So, as these leaks were coming out, it was obviously originally written in Japanese because the people working on these games are Japanese. And because, you know, machine translation ain't perfect, a description of Cyrus was one kind of off, I think I'm pronouncing that right, one Japanese character off of calling him autistic. So it was assumingly translated that it said autistic, when in actuality, it didn't. If I remember correctly, I believe it said something like socially closed off or emotionally closed off, something like that. Linguistics are a bitch. But I digress. The point is, Cyrus is not autistic. That doesn't stop me from giving an excuse as to why, if he was, that would be a bad fucking idea. I'm just gonna skip to it. Like, yes, that's bad. That is really bad. You do not want this guy. He is not with us. You do not want him. So, before I can get to that, who even is Cyrus? Because if you really sit down and think about it, there's not much. There is not much to grab at with his character. Obviously, we all know that Cyrus is, say it with me now, the leader of Team Galactic. Yeah. God, anyone that doesn't know shit about Pokemon, just seeing me condescendingly talking like this must be having, like, the most, I don't know what you would call it, but it is an experience that probably makes you feel insulted. But regardless, fuck you. Cyrus is the leader of Team Galactic. He has the goal of wanting to reset the universe in his own image, and that image is the same world, just with no emotions. He views emotions as being a bad thing, and this apparently stems from him being a neglected child that just kind of, I guess, removed his emotions so that he wouldn't feel, but like, I guess it's a trauma response. I don't know. Does that make him a sympathetic character? I guess, technically. But, like, I don't know, man. It's as bare bones as you get. Like, I guess there was, like, okay, there was, like, a short period of time where I played, like, Pokemon Master Sex. And there was, like, an event with Cyrus, and it was shown that he had, like, a Rotom when he was, like, a child or something. I don't know if that was established somewhere in the games or somewhere else or whatever. I don't know. All I know is that, like, okay, so there is, like, something linking him to that innocence and whatever. But it's really bare bones, dude. Like, there is nothing there. There is nothing to grasp at. This is a blank slate villain type character that just gets the job done. So you're probably thinking, oh, well, if that's the case, what's the problem with him being autistic? if you don't mind. First of all, dude's a savant. Just straight up. And I don't mean like literally is a savant. I mean he falls into that savant stereotype that I have been expressing multiple times on this channel. And as I've also stated before, that alone would not necessarily constitute as it being like, oh, nail in the coffin for a character, but doesn't help. And that's only the tipping. Why the fuck did I stop talking there? That's just the tip of the iceberg. I guess for context, apparently when he was young, he tinkered around with technology a lot, so he's inherently just a very gifted genius kid, I guess. I'm gonna be real. A lot of the new, like, these very specific details of his character, I'm a little hazy on. But to my understanding, he is very smart around technology. And especially, like, at a young age, that leads me to believe, oh yeah, child genius, huh? To be fair, Pokemon has a lot of those, but, like, come on, man. I already kind of mentioned it before, but my second point being, his whole shtick is being emotionally closed off. As I've also stated in the past, autistic individuals tend to be the most emotionally charged people I've personally ever met. Now, that's not to say that you can't be autistic and emotionally closed off, but that's the thing, is that would also stem from another stereotype due to their poor communication or inability to communicate at all. It's just kind of this stigma that's perpetuated over time where it's just like, oh, like, you can't answer my question? Like, you're not able to, like say a word properly or whatever? Oh, like, you must, like, it's either you're stupid or, like, oh, you just don't get, like, okay. Because communication tends to be difficult, sometimes the wrong thing gets said. This is true about anyone. Ask anyone. Mistakes happen. That's normal. For people with autism who already have a difficult time communicating normally, there tend to be a lot more frequent mistakes. So it kind of builds to this idea where, like, if someone is talking to you and you say something that's kind of like insensitive but you don't mean it to be, then it's just kind of like, oh, you're interpreted as like some kind of asshole. And because you can't communicate all that well, you're then left in a position where you can't really properly explain that it was a mistake, you didn't mean it that way, or even if you do, they're not going to believe you. Why would they believe you? You already hurt their feelings. Granted, I know low empath autistics are a thing. I'm personally not familiar with that side of things, and, like, yeah, obviously, like, having representation on that front is important. I know, like, a lot of people really like Donatello from that one TMNT cartoon. Was it Rise of? I forget. My point being, like, yes, that exists, but, like, to say, like, oh, he's autistic because he's like that is, like, this is the issue I have with a lot of this kind of discussion, because it's, like, a lot of the times you have to acknowledge, yes, like, sometimes that's the case, but, like, autistic reps are hard because there's so many, like, different variations. Like, it's a spectrum for a reason. And, like, I feel bad when I talk about, like, oh, like, you shouldn't display them like this because that's wrong, when it's, like, again, there's nuance, like, there's some that are, oh my god, I'm tripping over my own words. I'm proving my own point here. Look, the point is that the goddamn guy is viewed as autistic. That's like a core character trait, if interpreted that way. And if he's emotionally closed off, that is cyclical with saying, oh, he's emotionally closed off because he's autistic. That's a bad precedent. That's not good. And then finally, he's the main villain. He is like the penultimate bad guy of Gen 4. The dude tried to rewrite the universe. He tried to manipulate time and or space depending on the game. Dude was kind of a bitch. Now let me be clear. I don't mind analyzing a villain and headcanon him as autistic. Like, I'm not against that. Even towards like a universe level threat. That I personally do not think would bar you from headcanoning someone unless they are like literal scum or something. And I wouldn't go so far as to call Cyrus literal scum, but he teeters the line. It's just kind of like a thing where, like, again, in a vacuum, I don't mind him if it was this like one thing, but it's like all these other things combined creating this bigger context of like, yeah, no, that's probably a bad idea. So like him being like this blatantly evil, I don't care how sympathetic you try to make him out to be. If he's this unwavering and he's like this far gone, what are you trying to say about me? What are they saying about you? There we go. What are they saying about you? Sucks, doesn't it? In conclusion, it has been confirmed that Cyrus is not autistic, but if he was, that would be pretty fucking bad, and I would not like it. So stop spreading misinformation. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that dumb shit. If you want to see an actual Pokemon character that I think would act as good representation, you can check out the video that I will have on screen at the end of this one. Cool, thanks, bye. That fucking sucked as an outro. Wait, no, I could do better. I could do better. No, I don't have anything else. Just watch the